We're here to learn how to become a millionaire.
Let's go!
I jumped off of an 80-foot yacht in the middle of the ocean. That was something on my things to do list.
That's the best one ever.
Game on.
Putting people in uncomfortable positions is how they grow. Stay on it! Stay on it!
A little bit intimidating. I've never ridden a bull before.
Everything you say can and will be used against you.
Now it's time to sell something.
One of you is going to hand me a contract and try to close me.
What do you sell somebody that has everything?
They took the potato.
Everybody was shocked.
I'm either gonna really bring it or it might go bad.
Stay right there, don't move. This is the Millionaire Maker opportunity.
The day started as 7:30 a.m. and we all went over our presentation again.
You see this? CEO Yacht Services. And we're going to see Mr. Meaike today. We did all our preparation. We've done everything we needed to do.
We're confident. We're about to close this guy. Like, that's what's going through my head. I'm not intimidated by Shawn, right? But I do have a high level of respect for him. And because of that high level of respect, I'm like, hey, we need to rehearse.
I think all the teams have a couple very strong individuals. So yeah, they're absolutely competition. It's not gonna be a matter of what we sell. It is a unit, it's the team as a whole.
There's no freaking way that Mr. Meaike isn't gonna sign this contract. I mean, whose contract he's gonna sign? My Miss Mashed Potato? Hey, listen, Miss Mashed Potato, I've been looking for you. Thank God for picking that mashed potato. When I see you, mashed potato, that's your new name. Come on.
We're gonna kill it. We're gonna Team Tater. Like, we're gonna kill it, bro. I'm telling y'all.
Millionaire Maker, let's go!
Mr. Meaike said it's either 1 out of 10. And guess what, baby? We're at least a 12. Or maybe even a 13. But nothing less than that. Mr. Meaike, here we go.
The key to sales is, why should I trust you? Why should I do business with you? Why do I need what you have? And then why should I get what I need from you? And can you establish those things? And can you do that in a very short period of time?
This is the biggest opportunity of my life. Absolutely, by far, thus far, this is the biggest opportunity of my life. First time I see him, you know, it was a little intimidating looking over at him. He always has this face like he want to punch you in the mouth. I felt so awkward in that moment, you know, walking in, seeing Mr. Meaike sitting there in his chair. You got the cameras around, you got all the people around. Everybody's looked like, we all know what's going on except you.
What do y'all got?
I'm Brandon.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Monica.
And we're CEO Yacht Services. Today, we want to present to you, Mr. Meaike, the Seakeeper Stabilizer. So today we'll be presenting safety, comfort, and convenience to you today.
And the safety of the Seakeeper Stabilizer, it prevents your yacht from tossing to and fro so that when your friends and family are on it, they're not falling over or preventing any danger or anything like that.
So what the stabilizer is, it's gonna be under the boat, and it's gonna make sure when the boat isn't moving, when it's idle, when it's parked in place, that there's not much wobbling. And you know, for the comfort of the guests that you have on the boat, we know some inexperienced people may get motion sickness. We spoke to Captain John about what you like to do on the boat. We know you like to maybe take it down to some heat games and you just walk off the dock, so it's a little safer. The boat's not, you know, idolizing. And if you are doing podcasts on the boat, you don't have to worry about cameras falling over because the stabilizers are just going to keep it level and stop it from tilting.
Exactly. And the average stabilizer is normally 6,000 to 10,000 hours. Ours lasts 15,000 to 20,000 hours. It's normally, the smallest is normally 3 by 3 by 3. Ours is 1 by 1 by 1, so it can fit under a boat seat. So small enough to customize all throughout the boat to make this easy installation for you. We have a prep team outside. We printed all of this cool stuff for you to look over, but in reality, we didn't want to bore you with the simple stuff. We wanted to come here and let you know exactly what it will do. We left this here for you to review at your own leisure time and also to review with Captain John. We also have the contract to get started right away because we heard when you called us it was a priority, and all of our priority clients get taken care of between the first 10 and 14 days, and we have a prep team outside on standby if we can get this going today.
All right, when you talked to Captain John, did you ask him what the boat currently has?
Yes.
As a stabilizer?
So the reason it didn't have a stabilizer was because there wasn't any that are that size for the boat. Usually you need one that's 3x3 like Brandon had said, but what we are able to do is custom fit one for you. So we'd have to order special parts for it and get it custom made to fit your boat specifically.
And how are you sure you can do that? Like, I know you can't talk, and by the way, I appreciate you talking to Captain John. That was good. That was smart. Like, spin that over so I can see that. I'm gonna ask you a question, all right? Y'all know anything about people that own boats?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. They like to talk about their boats. They call them yachts.
Yes.
Intentionally.
When Mr. Mike asked to see my boards, you know, the thing I stayed up all night for, I thought he was gonna give me a round of applause. But what he did was he turned me around altogether. That's an 82-foot, $5 million yacht.
Yes.
The manufacturer, Seakeeper, announces a new gyroscopic stabilizer for small boats. You know how pissed off somebody would be if they spent $5 million on a boat and it was important to them, which it is to most people that buy a yacht, because it would actually, it would piss them off. I didn't even know how to spell yacht. If it wasn't for spell check, I would have still been in trouble. He told me, you have to turn around and get it right, my man. Next time you come and you're talking about what I just paid $5 million for, if you ever call it a boat again, I'll punch you clear in the mouth. I'm like, for God's sake. Somebody's doing this somewhere, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. You said, hey, they already have it. I should get it, which, by the way, is sharp because, you know, you did your research with Captain John.
We thought that by talking to the actual captain, we were gaining insight as into trouble areas on the boat because the captain spends a lot of time with the boat.
Why do you believe the one that y'all would create, because obviously it's fictitious, but I get it, would last so many more hours? Like, how did you come up with that? Like you just said, yours lasts a certain amount of, I mean, unless you're like going to invent something that does that, why are you sure you could create something that lasts longer than everybody else's?
Because instead of it being one big 3x3, Captain John suggested that we separate it into 1x1s and have 3 different ones of them. That way it's not all just damage and pressure being...
So basically all of our research and design is contingent upon Captain John's information.
Correct.
I'm not saying it's bad, I'm asking you.
Correct.
Also, I did research online as well, and I saw the sizes of the regular ones and how long they last. And we were able to produce one just for your yacht.
So a couple things. When I told you yesterday, when I asked questions, what did I say? What was my instruction?
One person answers.
Then why y'all answering?
Has anybody ever asked you how many hands I got up? And you said 5? That's what it felt like in there with Mr. Mike.
Now I'm asking you, why is everybody answering? It didn't have to be you, but why is everybody answering?
They're just not following any instructions. We're just not
Lack
following
of leadership. People don't not follow instructions. If I give you instructions, you will follow them.
That was an epiphany for me because my leadership has to grow from this point forward. You know, once you're aware, you can do better. If you knew better, you can do better. Now I know how to effectively lead.
I love where you were going. First of all, I love the shirts. I love the hats, and I love all the preparation. I really do.
I was looking at his face in complete disappointment because this is not what I expected, guys. You got everything right, the presentation. Look at the shirts, look at the hats. But what is this garbage of a presentation? So I heard him say that without having to say a word with his face.
And what's the price?
$220,000.
Okay, you didn't tell me that either. And what's the average price of a Seakeeper?
Between 200 for your size boat.
Perfect, okay. For your size yacht.
For your size yacht.
I learned that. I call mine a boat. People are like, everybody calls it a yacht. So I educated myself about these. But you have to then ask me questions. So you kind of wanted to close and then you threw some stuff out and it's like, cool, I got it. I like you a lot. I like how much you put into it. But if you ask me based on what you just told me, if I'm gonna buy it, it was just really discombobulated. You jumped all over the place.
He said it was a little all over the place. And I'm like, man, I prepared too much to still be all over the place.
Me, if I'm the best salesperson in the group, I do all the motherfucking talking. Y'all hold some stuff up for me, be nice and give me some water if I'm thirsty. I got this. The best person, that's leadership, is being able to say, hey man, you get credit for everything you did all night long, but they can just sit there and look cool. So your preparation, you get an A for. Your presentation, it's a C, and your ability to close, it's an F.
Maybe if we'd have asked more questions. I don't think I ever even asked a question. They shouldn't have called me the closer. They should have called me the opener. Because I just opened the door for it to get closed. I did not close that deal.
You have to ask questions to then close. You were like asking to get in, you like limped in like a wet cat.
Yeah.
Here, you sit down. Sit down. Sit down, I'll show you how you do it. So now you got your stuff. First of all, this is weird. Really jacked up, right? Hold that and hide that because that's awkward, right? So if I'm talking to you, I go, hey, Brandon, based on everything we all talked about, and really I got a great team, so really a lot of the stuff I talk about today is because of them. They put a lot of hard work into it. We're really excited about the option we think we could have for you because these yachts at an 82-foot size is a big yacht, man. And we've seen that there's a deficiency in what's offered out there. And based on our research, went to your captain. We think this is something that, based on your captain's opinion, you could use. You know, the price is in line with everybody else, about $220,000, and installs 6 to 8 weeks. Based on that, and I don't want to be presumptive, based on that, you know, we could go ahead and get this thing rolling in the next few days if we wanted to. Would you like to talk further about what our contractual relationship would be? Would you like to go ahead and do that? Would you like us to connect with Captain John? What's my next step to get this on your boat and try to solve this problem that we think you have? That's the deal.
So Mr. Meaike, as you can see, he is intense. I love it. I needed coaching like this, and I'm so grateful to be here. So that gut check was very important for me. I needed it. And I need to pay a little bit more attention to detail as a businessman.
Love the concept, love the idea, love the service potentially, but what just happened here, I wouldn't say yes to.
Okay.
It was too disheveled. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Love y'all, man, but you got to fix it.
Understood.
Okay? But hey, thanks. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Y'all can take your stuff with you too. Thank you. They had something that actually made some sense. That's the unfortunate part. And they come in and didn't even say anything when they got here, and I'm like, which is probably good because it only took a minute. They could have sat and looked at me for 3 minutes. Shit, they would have had enough time. Maybe they could have waited me out. I would have got just uncomfortable and signed the contract. That's what happens when you think you're ready and you're not. So it wasn't, could have been a hell of a lot better. I would not have bought from them.
We're getting ready to pitch our service to Shawn. There's no BS in him right now. There's no, don't expect a smile, don't expect a joke. It's like, hey, let's get down to business and let's see what you're made of. Going into it, there was no doubt in my mind that this contract is about to get signed. Immediately, he locks eyes with us, and he really locks eyes with me because I'm the team leader. This is Shawn. That's Shawn. Like, just he's already bored with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to impress the guy. First off, thank you for having us in your home and giving us the opportunity to explain this product to you. The name of our company is Rough Riding Reliability. All right, so what we do is we offer security services to people like yourself who own exotic vehicles. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you to my team. To my left, I have Mark. He's our product specialist. So he's gonna be the one to explain our products and services to you. To my right, I have Joshua. He's our inquiry advisor. So he's gonna be the one to answer any and all questions that you have today. He'll be the only one answering your questions today, okay? My name is Christian Van Buren. I'm gonna be your contracting specialist. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Mark so that he can explain our services to you and why our product is gonna be best to serve you.
Gotcha. So Shawn, quick question. What do you do for a living?
A lot of different things to make money.
Okay, and how often does that take you away from your Ferrari?
I'm away a lot.
Okay. Now, when you're away, how does that make you feel about the safety and security of Ferrari?
I got gates, I got cameras.
All right, got you. So
I mean, unless they airlifted out of my driveway or smashed through my gates, I don't worry about it. And I genuinely pretty much don't care.
As Mark is presenting, Shawn's not responding the way we thought he would respond. Shawn's like, well, you know, unless they bash through my gate or come in with an airlift, and we're just like, all right, we didn't plan for that.
Like, they take it, I'll file an insurance claim.
Got you. So if that were to happen, they smashed through your gate, airlifted, anything like that, right? If they were to take it, let's say we have an anti-theft prevention services that can help prevent that, right? We have Etch, LoJack, and the custom luggage protection, right? Etch is a clear coat paint cassette that we put on all over the car, and that's traceable, right? So let's say, God forbid, your car gets stolen and broken down for parts. Every single one of those parts can be traced, right? We also have a LoJack that goes on the engine block of your Ferrari, right? Now, once you activate that tracker, you get 24/7 tracking of your vehicle at all times. There's also a LoJack app that you can download on your phone, and you can track the car from that app also. Now, since the LoJack is connected to the to the engine block on your Ferrari, let's say the thief disconnects that, right? Once they disconnect it, the Ferrari wouldn't be drivable anyway. The custom luggage protection is a device that we put inside the front, right here in the front. And then that makes it impossible for thieves to take out the luggage when you're not looking, right? We also have 24/7 custom care, 24/7 tech support, and around-the-clock emergency services response. Now I'm gonna pass it back to Christian here, and he's gonna explain to you the contracting services that you have with us.
Okay, Shawn, let me ask you a question. Would it be fair to say that you're somebody that cares about the safety and security of your home enough to keep guns in the house?
I have guns everywhere.
Perfect. So I think it would also be fair to say that if you were to look outside your window and you saw somebody trying to steal your Ferrari, you would probably take matters into your own hands.
I will shoot them and kill them, throw on my property, 100%.
Exactly. So here's the thing, Shawn. Our job, well, first off, let me back up. Shawn, you're a businessman, right? And you're responsible for a lot of people. Our job is to make sure that you're available to those people as much as possible and that you're not dealing with any legal services because you decided to take matters into your own hands and now you got to deal with the courts and this, you know what I mean? So we want to make sure you're available to your people as much as possible. When I mentioned the courts and Shawn being a businessman and him being responsible for a lot of people, I was like, that's going to resonate with Shawn regardless of what he thinks about the product because that's who he is, right? He is somebody that cares about the people that are part of his business. With that said, another thing that we offer or something that we can assist you with is if you decide, you said you travel a lot, so if you decide in the future you want to rent out that Ferrari for whatever reason, right? Our services are going to give you that additional peace of mind that when you're gone, your vehicle is safe, but also—
My vehicle is safe. Who's renting it out?
If you decide to rent it out, Shawn, that service, that added anti-theft protection, well, that gives an added benefit.
We mean rent it out. I rent it out so somebody else can have it and drive it?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop y'all.
This is where it starts to we start to go down the hill a little bit.
Do you think when somebody buys a car for like $350,000, they're worried about losing it? Do you think like they're up at night worried about losing it? And if somebody steals my car, what's the insurance gonna do?
Shawn's immediately like, wall here, nope, don't like that, don't need that.
It's not like my Honda Accord had 362,000 miles on it. If somebody stole it, I actually would have gotten like $300. I wanted the car and my insurance sucked. Do you think I have really good insurance if I own this car? Like, do you think you've been to my house too, right?
Yes.
Okay, you see my gates. I thought you said he was the only one going to answer questions.
He's like, I thought he was answering questions, and then I'm like, I thought the presentation was over because he's like, I'm gonna stop you right there.
You see my gates, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and when I drive my car, you know I have a gun always. Do you think if somebody tries to carjack me, I'm not gonna shoot and kill them?
You probably
Because
will.
I'm going to. Do you think I have a good attorney for my legal services?
You do.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be difficult, but you guys have to start thinking about things that would appeal to me.
I'm like, can we just turn back the clocks a little bit to when we were talking about it, this needs to be in there. We'll take it out and then we'll just fast forward and then boom, it's gone.
I got a car parked behind my car. You've been here logistically. I have this and a car behind it that's huge. They'd have to steal that one and another one on the other side. You can't even get it, couldn't get it out if you wanted. You have to steal 3 cars. You have to knock down the gate and steal 3 cars.
In that moment, I'm like, all right, just keep laying it on me, man, because they just keep coming. Just one bullet after another is just like, all right, boom, there's another reason why you don't need it. Boom, there's another reason why you don't need it.
I like your play a little bit on the legal stuff. I like that, you know what I mean? But this wasn't the product. I don't need this. Now, what would have been good, right? Christian, sit down and tell you what I would have done. You know, and not just because it's me. You've been here, right? Where's my Ferrari parked?
Can I answer?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, yes, now you're me, yeah. Where is my Ferrari parked?
In the driveway.
In the driveway. Is it parked in a garage?
No.
No. Do you think it'd been good to have something to protect my car? I put that little cover on it. You could have been like, hey, he didn't park in the garage. My garage has 2 bedrooms in it. I don't have a garage.
At this point in Shawn's explanation, I'm like, man, we should have went with some off-the-wall type stuff, like just something crazy. I think Josh said something about like this automatic car cover that you just throw on the ground and it goes over the car.
Now if you had said, hey, do you carry a gun in your car? Y'all know I carry everywhere. Yes, we've come up with something specific to cars like this. Easy access for your gun, reach and grab, good to go. Well, now I'm in. Hell, about don't even care what it costs. You have to start thinking about me, the client, And you didn't. You thought about the car and not me, because this is so not me.
Whatever team does bad, they usually send the leader home, even if the leader wasn't the worst part of the team, because they were the leader. So I'm like, even though I think I did a good job and I put a lot of effort into my team, but I'm probably about to go home.
By the way, if you're sitting there in that seat and 3 of us are talking to you, it's confusing. If one person can close a deal out of 3 of you, who would be the best? Just forget, who's the best closer in the group? You
Out of experience, Josh.
Okay, then let him roll. I love the way you present yourself. I actually love the way all 3 of you present yourselves. I do. Think y'all could have done great had you had the right product or accessory. This definitely was not it.
Got it.
So, appreciate you though. Thanks. Thank you, man. You got it, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, bud. You got it, man. Too bad. It started off so good. How would you think, based on my configuration of my house, I'm worried about my Ferrari being stolen? You know what I mean? Like, I got 2 tanks parked behind it and 2 gates. But then I leave it outside, which probably sucks for a car like that. So why don't you sell me something? I mean, there's just so many things I could have done. So I don't even know how good they would have been or not good, how Joshua would have been closing it. But the product was so bad, I couldn't even let him continue. So, but that's just, you get caught up in the activity and you don't take a step back and go, okay, what does he want? Great guys, terrible idea. I have no need for the product.
So as we're getting ready to walk in the room, what's going through my head is just like, my spot on this team, on this show is just, it's on the line. So I have to convince Shawn Meaike why this product is for him. I see Shawn Meaike and his face is just like intensely scary, you know, and just serious. He was like,
Good morning, Shawn. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you. Thank you, of course, for taking my call yesterday because we are super excited. As you know, my name is Christine Austin L. I brought Miss Kara with me as well as Mr. James. And when I tell you we are excited, we are excited. May I put this down here?
Sure.
All right, very well. So, we are from the customs sales department, all right? And we know that you have been making so many adjustments on your jet that you purchased 2 years ago, right? But there was one thing that we just could not deliver because we didn't have. Today, we are able to offer you the 5G fastest internet in the globe. And it is called Go Global Internet. And if you just give us a few moments, my team's going to explain to you exactly how Go Global Internet is going to serve you, your team, as well as your family.
Shawn, we understand that regarding your plane, you wanted the biggest, the best, and the fastest plane. That's why you got the one you have. And you wanted it to make sure that it was going to service you, as well as the clients and the friends and the family that's going to ride with you. We know that you have a sexy, sexy plane. I mean, it's sexy. You have that beautiful, sleek, black exterior, that red pinstripe that's really your signature color. Inside that plane, pure luxury with a lot of details with amenities so that you and your guests are going to have a very comfortable experience. But there's one thing you don't have, and that is Go Internet, which is going to allow you to be able to build your business, be able to connect with your family during times that are extremely important. You need to have Go Internet so that when you're traveling over the water and you typically have lost service, you will now have full connectivity all over the globe.
Shawn, you displayed deep concern in regards to your internet connectivity. But I want to ask you a question, Shawn. With everything going on in regards to the business, with you flying to different countries and having connectivity problems, this is going to be able to serve not just you, but also your family and your friends. I want you to imagine with me, Shawn, your daughter. Imagine her in labor. Imagine her going through labor pains. And she's calling you, trying to get in touch with you because she needs that peace. She needs that understanding and that knowing that everything's going to be okay because you took care of her your whole entire life. That's why we're here, Shawn. We're here to show you and to tell you that Go Global internet is revolutionary, and it's going to be able to serve not just you, but also your friends, your family, and for the long run. I'm spewing out like, Shawn, dude, you need this, because if anything were to happen, we need to make sure that you have this so your family is protected. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I got this. Like, yes, as I'm talking, I'm like, let's go. Shawn, let's go.
Go.
Wow.
So, we do have a contract for you. This is actually amazing, right? This is why I called you. I'm super excited. Now, there's only a few individuals that are able to get in on the first run, right? They've been working on this for years. And your company let us know that you were ready, that you want this right now. The nice thing is, they have a promotion.
What's service cost?
The service cost, we can't tell you that because they definitely have to go into your jet. They have to see exactly what it is that they need to do. Of course, your wiring has already been updated. So that's a nice thing. So you don't have to worry about that. We understand, we spoke with Scott and he stated that your whole dash has been updated for any upgrades digitally. So it won't be an issue. $40,000 for your down payment.
$40,000 my down payment. What's it cost monthly to use?
That again, they're gonna have to discuss that with you. So Scott is prepared once you go ahead and sign that you are interested. Scott's gonna give you a call and he's gonna go over the specific details with you. He knows, he's already told us that you hate not having connectivity over water. This is gonna serve that problem.
All right, so when you said, do you know a lot about jets?
Do I know a lot about jets?
Yeah.
I know my specific area, and that is really more of the interior designs and the amenities that go into the plane.
I knew we messed up right there because he was looking at Kara, asking her the question, and Kara answered. And then he looked at me and asked the question, and we paused, and then I answered, knowing that I should have been answering the questions in the beginning, because that was my part.
Okay. So when you say have one of the larger jets, it's not a large jet at all. It's a fast jet.
It's
not
a
a large
fast jet.
Do you know the percentage of time I actually fly over the water and can't use my internet, like in the time I travel? Do you have any idea?
Well, we don't know the exact amount of time of you traveling other than you've been down this year as far as you're traveling.
Right. Do you know how long I can fly the plane without having to stop and refuel it?
Good question, but I'm
So-
sure we can
no,
go
I
ahead and
had-
get that
no, I
answer
had,
for
that was
you.
rhetorical. I have the answer.
We were so convinced in this presentation that it was going to be so great, it wouldn't be no questions. We were going to leave Shawn Meaike speechless. And that went the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
My problem is that, first of all, the service you have, it exists.
Yes.
Like, it's out there. I could get it if I wanted to. The reason I don't have it is because I literally probably spend 1/10 of 1% of my time flying in areas where there's no internet. I'm in the US 99.9. I can't really take it anywhere.
When Shawn was saying that he doesn't really need the product and he doesn't need to fly internationally, it really like made us sink in our chair, because it's like, bro, what? Because that was what the product was designed for. And when he said that, it was just like, oh.
It doesn't go far enough. I just can't with fuel. It's a mid-sized fast jet. So what you're talking to me about today would be good if I had a much larger jet and I flew over international waters. Hell, 10% of the time, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm 1/10 of 1%. I might go from here to Mexico. By the way, Scott's a phenomenal maintenance guy, and I think the great question would have been, hey, Scott, what percentage of the time does he not have Wi-Fi?
Right.
And if Scott had said, man, less than 1% of the time, you'd been like, let's find something else.
He started asking the questions as far as how often does he fly across bodies of water and how often does he lose connectivity. And had we asked those type of questions, then we would have known that that may not have been the best product to sell.
For me to go ahead and give you 40 grand, and then, again, first of all, I like you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I do. What I didn't like about it, so like, you gotta be careful. When you start going like, your daughter and birth, like, dude,
Right.
don't f***ing insult me.
I'm just like, what the heck? What did I just do? I'm like, bro, like, I'm done. I'm done.
You're painting a picture for me that's not accurate. When my daughter's about to go in labor, I will not be flying over international waters. I just won't. So you won't need to call me like I'm Batman and spin my plane around. I'll be near her.
He felt insulted. He felt insulted. And Shawn, dude, that was not my intentions whatsoever.
The business thing is where you wanted to hit,
okay,
right? Because you know I'm doing business in my airplane all the time. What a great question would have been is, hey, Shawn, let me ask you something.
Right.
What are you most concerned about as it pertains to losing your signal?
Okay.
Then I go, I'm concerned the most that I'm trying to do business and I lose my signal for an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Going in, we thought he was signing. I mean, absolutely. We just thought it was, you know, amazing. Once we were in there, the energy felt a little different.
Your product I don't need. I mean, quite frankly, I don't need it for that plane. And you should have done your research on the plane. It can't go nowhere. I can't fly from California to Hawaii.
Right.
Unless the winds are perfect. I said to my pilot one day, can we make it? He said, if it's perfect winds. I said, well, I probably don't want to land in the water.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, for me, yes, I don't like it if I'm down for 45 minutes, but cumulatively in the 2+ years, I've probably been down like 2.5 hours.
We were just lost for words and speechless. Like, we didn't plan it to be bad at all.
Also, I said one person answers questions. It was an instruction. Who was the person? You, right? Did you pick you? Or
Yes.
did you not pick
Well,
me?
It was.
Yeah. I was the one to answer, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, no matter, I don't care if I look over here.
Look.
It's you, right? I'm not trying to trick you, you know? I like y'all a lot. I do. And I know you're trying to include everybody.
Yes.
And I appreciate you for that. But you got to make decisions when you lead. The object was to close.
Absolutely.
This isn't middle school. The object isn't, well, I got to get everybody involved. Because you all have strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, sir.
She presents very well.
Yes.
She presents better than you two.
Agreed.
And it's kind of not close. I like the iPad. I like you not like. I like you kind of trying to get the close, but you still got to ask for the close.
Right.
And what would have been? I didn't tell you this. I never said with the contract you had to exchange money. All you could have said, hey, listen, we have a contract here that allows us to go on your plane. Could be for liability purposes. For liability purposes, Shawn, we need you to sign this. Allow us to go on a plane. We'll have a quote back to you within 2 weeks. You know, and you made it a little convoluted. I'd ask down payment, hey, Shawn, let me ask you something. I can't, sit down, I can't do it the other way. Sit down, I'm gonna show you. I can't do it the other way. You sit, I just can't, I'm trying. No, you sit, you don't all sit in the same chair. Okay. It ain't that kind of show, bro.
When Shawn wanted to switch perspectives, it's like, dang, like we messed up to the point where he's literally taking control and reorchestrating how it should have been and how he should have been sold as a consumer.
Christine,
yes.
Now that I've explained to you exactly what we have to offer here, let me tell you what our next step would be. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay, awesome. And based on what I talked about with the high-speed internet, would you like to at least get more information about what we have here and what it would look like for your plane and what it would cost?
That would make sense.
Okay, so what we're gonna do today, Christine, I got a crew. We'll get on there within the next couple weeks. We'll do a full evaluation to see what you actually need. We'll actually get with the guys that operate the plane, get the hours that you're over international waters, and see what you actually have and what the service is, because maybe we could prorate something, because maybe you don't fly that much over, because Citation 10 doesn't fly like it can't fly across the world. Obviously, it's not a bigger, larger airplane. We know it's fast.
We know it's
fastest airplane, we know it's fast, but would it be, like today, what I could do is we could go ahead and get you assigned some really for liability purposes, get our crew on there to check it out. I'd have a quote back to you within 2 weeks. You can decide then and there if you need the service, and if you do, we can put it in within 6 to 8 weeks. Does that make sense? And you're gonna say yes.
It was really a learning experience and it was different for us. And I'm really thankful that he did that because it really showed a whole nother perspective that I never looked at it.
I ain't gonna buy it, but y'all did good. I mean it. Some things you missed, but overall I liked it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. You got it. Thanks again. Hey, much better than I thought you would be, bro. 2 days make a big difference.
Thank you, Shawn. Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, buddy. What's disheartening is they're all like, we're all together. We got to present and close. I'd nicely go, hey, dude, all I need you to do is smile, man. Just look great. Help me look good. You're great looking people. But as far as the sale goes, dude, I got this. It's what I do. And again, we never said you have to get X amount of dollars. Just get a contract signed. If they had done that, I'd have been like, okay, I'm in, dude. I mean, how do I get hurt by doing that? So, you know, unfortunate. So great people.
So today's presentation, we're presenting and selling potatoes to Shawn Meaike today.
At the beginning of the presentation, Shawn's eyeballs are so damn intimidating. He's just, and then I just choked up. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Hey, Shawn, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Awesome, good, thanks for having us.
Sure.
My name is Raquel. I'm the founder of Feeding Families First. Here's my team, Digna and Ryan, and I'm gonna give a little bit of backstory on our mission. So about 5 years ago, unfortunately, my father passed away, left our family in financial burden. Around the holidays, my mom was unable to provide a meal for Christmas dinner. Fortunately, family had knocked on our door, gave us a huge plate of mashed potatoes. Although all I had that night was mashed potatoes, I was so grateful that someone had thought to feed a family in need. And that got me thinking, how many other people are out there, doesn't have a meal at the end of the day? And I was like, let's turn this into a business. So I decided to make Feeding Families First. I was so surprised by my nerves and stuttering because, guys, I'm telling you, I had this down pat, bro. I had this down pat.
We decided to go with a $9.99 subscription-based plan where you get 1 5-pound bag of potatoes every month delivered. Now, 10% of that goes back to feeding single parent families in need, and for every 5 subscriptions, we donate a meal to a family in need as well.
I was going so fast. I didn't even realize it at all. I was so unaware that I was just like, when I was rehearsing it, I was more calm, collected, here's my story, here's what happened, this is the mission of our business.
Digna's gonna tell you about why we chose potatoes.
Hi, Shawn. You might be wondering, why potato? So Shawn, I am not a single mom and I was not raised by one. However, my husband was raised by a single mom, 3 boys, a lot of trouble, she was never home. And many nights, she did not know how to put food on the table. So you might be asking again, why potato? Shawn, potato is a $31 billion a year market just in the US. By 2027, it's gonna be $38 billion. We just want a piece of that to help the single moms. Now, Shawn, you might be saying, who's eating potato? Everyone in America. The number said that 111 pounds of potato are eaten by every American every year. So that means we're already eating potatoes. So now we just wanna help single mom with our potatoes.
As Digna's doing her part of the presentation, I realized that even I started to zone out because it was just so much extra added information, and I already had a story and then she had another story, and then, I think we should have just been a lot more cut and concise.
Then again, we think about potatoes and we say, wait a minute, $9.99 subscription, how's that gonna work? But Shawn, a lot of people wanna help already. Sometimes it gets complicated, they don't know how to do it. $9.99 is simple. A lot of people are paying $9.99 for a gym, right, Ryan? They don't even go. $9.99 is simple, but they're gonna be able to get a bag of potato. They're gonna be able to help a single mom that's struggling right now by doing that. But they're gonna get a text message, Shawn, and they're gonna click, send it to me, send it to someone else, or donate it to a family.
I'm thinking if I were Shawn, I would be like, okay, what? Let's get to the point. And I think it really throws it off too that we added the text message part in the middle of it instead of when I was explaining how the business model was working.
And that's why we're so passionate about this, Shawn, because of the about 15 million single parent households, Shawn, there's 80% that are single moms. And you wanna know too, 24% of those, about 6 million to 9, they don't know if they're gonna have a meal on the table. And that's what we wanna help, Shawn. We wanna tap into 5% of that market, and we wanna bring them a meal.
I feel like I failed them as a leader because I didn't step in and say, hey, way too many statistics up in there.
And we're gonna talk about our goals for this year and the next 5 years. And that's what Ryan's gonna do for us.
Shawn, thank you so much for your time. First and foremost, I feel like time is very precious. Time is one thing that you can't get back. Growing up, at a year old, my mom divorced my father. Worked 3 jobs, worked a lot. I wasn't even raised by her at night. Her friend made sure that with my mom's hard work, I had food on the table. As I grew up, I realized that mom went to bed hungry quite a lot. And these are just a few of the stories that we're hearing.
Ryan was really good at keeping his tone really well, not speaking too fast, and making sense of what he was saying.
So right now, our goal for 2023 is there is 230,000 single moms right now that go to bed hungry, not quite sure where their next meal is coming from. Our goal is to impact them, and we will impact them in 2023. In 5 years, as the business continues to grow, we will touch 4 million of those single moms. Now, Shawn, what I do ask you, because I already know, number one, you are on board, it makes sense, right? 111 pounds consumed by Americans every single year. It's a no-brainer. We're saving you time, money, we're giving back. I do ask you, Shawn, out of those 223,000 families that we're trying to help, how many of those will you help us out with?
I think the part that he did mess up on was the end with the closing. When he was practicing that closing, he was like, all right, Shawn, how many families can we count on you to help us reach our goal? And I feel like during the presentation, it was like,
What do you, I don't know what do you, okay, so, all right, we'll take a step back, first of all.
When Shawn told him to step back, I knew we were in for a reckoning.
First of all, I don't eat potatoes, okay? I was raised by a single mom. Whose idea was this?
It was a combined effort.
Okay, great idea, by the way. Confusing though.
Yeah.
You guys confused it.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, it's like, sit down, Raquel, switch with me, because it's not hard. Like,
when Shawn told me to sit down, I knew he was definitely gonna do my part the way it was supposed to be done, and he wanted me to see it, how it's supposed to sound.
all the information was great. What's confusing is, and you said something quick about a text message, right? Like I don't have to get the potatoes, right? But you didn't explain it to me. And dude, if you're gonna close me. You're like, ugh. I look at you and you look at me, bro, you gotta, so it's like, first of all, what was your concept with the subscription? Meaning like I pay $9.99, right, every month. And then you're gonna send me a text message when my potatoes are gonna be sent. And I can automatically just send them to a single mother household.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
That's not complicated. Shawn, here's the great thing. Do you even eat potatoes? I'd be like, no, I don't. Cool. I don't know your dynamic when you grew up. I was raised by a single mom, so I got you. 3 jobs, I watched it. I feel awful for my mom. I say this to my mom, she hopes she doesn't watch this, but I'd be like, she's single because I used to torment every asshole that came to take her out. So you got me at single mom, okay? But you have to explain to me, it's everywhere. And you did the same thing that everybody else did. Who do you think had the best concept, best grasp of this whole concept? Who could have presented the best? One of you, who could have presented the best? He's robotic, good dude, but it wouldn't have been him. Who could have presented the best? Do you think you could have?
Yeah.
One of the two of you could have.
Yeah.
Okay. What is this whole okay, now it's Digna's turn.
We had no intentions of having one person present because we thought that everybody presents and then one person asks questions.
Like you come in and explain to me, hey, Ryan's been, here's what he does, he's research development, man, Digna's on the road, meeting with single moms, she's going to shelters, she's going to places, she's doing the research. I'll be honest with you, Shawn, I'm the person they bring in to try to get more families fed. That's my job. Now you got nervous, you started stumbling, that's okay. And that's okay.
But I'm so excited to fail and learn and keep going.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me that. Listen, you're a lot, but I like you. Like you're, you know what I mean? You're like a gerbil on methamphetamine, so I'm in, okay? But like holy cow.
When Shawn said I'm a lot, but he likes me, I'm just taking it as it is, you know? I'm a little talkative too much, but hey, I'm gonna try my hardest at the end of the day.
I love y'all as people. Don't love y'all closing, but you have to learn from this. And dude, you can't ask my permission. That's part of your problem in general, probably. You're waiting for my permission. Hey man, so now Shawn, you don't have to play on I got the single mom thing. Don't overkill it either. Like, I got it. Like, dude, I'm in. You know, but Shawn, and honestly, how about this? If I said, hey Raquel, can I be straight up with you? And this is true for me. To know the amount of families, Digna in our research department, she's on this stuff all the time. And she don't have to say anything. You can say it and say her name, and she's included. Digna's on top of this stuff all the time. The amount of families that are going to bed in single mother homes, not eating, breaks my heart. I just want to help fix the problem. And I'm hoping you can help me. I'm just hoping you can. That's all you got to do. You don't got to keep beating it down. Does that make sense? So the bottom line is I'm going to say yes because the concept's so good, even though your delivery and your salesmanship was so bad. I mean, it was.
When he said he was gonna sign the contract when we weren't good, I was so happy because I knew the potato was a good decision. Like, I just knew it. And it showed, it showed. Maybe I wasn't the best presenter, but damn, that potato got his heart.
Makes sense? You got it, bro, 100%.
Thank you.
Raquel, got it. Next time, slow down, like 87 octaves. Like, just take back the thing you couldn't close me with. But I did agree to it. I'm in. You got it. Good work. Kind of. Love the idea, love the concept, love the beginning of it. They're just great people. They had decent energy. And then they gave it, out of the three of them, the one that had no shot to close, they gave it to him. These two had a much better shot than him. I mean, he's running anchor. Dude, I'm slow. Well, I wouldn't run anchor. Put me on your relay team. I'm never running anchor. God didn't make me fast. I ain't running from nobody. So I don't need to run anchor. They gave it to the person that had the least ability to close me because they were trying to make it a team. I never said that.
We all definitely learned from that because we went in there like, yeah, potato. And we're like, oh, potato. But still, like, good potato.
The problem in the world nowadays, we got a bunch of 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds that are broke as shit.
I'm actually having thoughts that I'm probably about to go home.
That's a game changer. You're talking about a plot twist.
Anytime anyone goes home, I'm like...
I'm trying to do a show. Stop crying. There's a time and a place in life to cry. Today ain't that day. And this time is not that time.
I don't know what to expect.
We have one more challenge.
I'm thinking that it's gonna be something that we could potentially like die doing.
Who cares as long as does he see I have what it takes?
Has nothing to do with strength. It's all mental toughness.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.